Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and today is going to be episode 2 of Van Damme versus Seagal. It's that time again. I've watched a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie and I've watched a Steven Seagal movie, and we're going to put them up against each other, see which one I like the most, and see who wins again this week. Is it going to be Van Damme or is it going to be Steven Seagal? Let's find out. So, first up, I'm going to be, I've been watching this movie here, which is Hard to Kill, with Steven Seagal. This is in the Steven Seagal collection, which incidentally also has Under Siege, Under Siege 2, Hard to Kill, Nico Above the Law, which I've not seen. I believe that was his first movie, and Executive Decision, which I've seen. I watched Hard to Kill. So this was from 1990. What was it about? So Seagal plays a detective, Mason Storm. That's a cool name for a start. And what it is, he videotapes a sort of a crooked senator played by William Sadler, who I know he's in loads of things, but I know him as like Death in Bill and Ted. He videotapes him making deals with like some sort of crooked cops as well, some dodgy cops, and unfortunately, when Mason Storm tells his partner O'Malley, he's sort of overheard by the dodgy cops, and they ultimately gun down Mason's family, basically himself, his wife, and his child, all gunned down in their own home. And Mason Storm survives this, and he's in a coma for 7 years. I think the movie starts off, obviously, I think it was 1983, so it's 7 years. Wakes up in 1990. While he's in a coma in the hospital, he's sort of being looked after by this nurse by the name of Andrea, played by Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science. And basically after his recovery, he sets out on revenge for his family, basically. What was this any good? Straight off the bat, this is proper cheesy. Not to say that's a bad thing, but it's got some pretty bad acting in it, I must admit. And it's got like some cheesy one-liners, straight out of the Schwarzenegger movie. Again, probably not a bad thing, but you got things like, "I'm going to take you to the bank centre, the blood bank." That was a particular favourite. It's got some great action in it. Despite the baddies all being a bit rubbish, and William Sadler's very sort of underused in this movie. He doesn't really do anything. You've got obviously, as I said, Kelly LeBrock, who was actually Steven Seagal's wife in real life in this movie. Well, not in the movie, sorry, in the time this movie was made. I think they were married from sort of late 80s to sort of mid-90s, something like that. Kelly LeBrock looks great. I just remember her from Weird Science, and she still looks great in this movie. It is worth watching for her, although her acting's not great. This is basically sort of leave your brain at the door, just fun action movie, really. Fun 90s action movie. He kicks a lot of ass. There's a lot of fighting in this movie. I'd enjoy it. That's Hard to Kill. I'm going to get to my rating of that later. But next up, I'm going to talk about the Van Damme movie we watched, and that this time was this one here. This was Death Warrant, again from 1990. This is in a Van Damme collection, which also has AWOL and Black Eagle on it, which I've not seen either of those either. Maybe future video for them. What's Death Warrant about? So in this one, Van Damme plays a cop called Lewis Burke, who basically, as his mission is to infiltrate a sort of a maximum security prison, looking into some unexplained deaths in there. And prior to going into prison, 16 months prior, he has a conversation with a serial killer known as the Sandman, who basically eventually ends up in the same prison, and they have their inevitable sort of rematch, you could say. That's generally the plot. It's like a prison movie, which I do enjoy. Is a particular genre of movie that I do like, prison movies, and it's got all this sort of standard prison movie stuff in there. Yeah, was it any good? Yeah, I thought this was great. It's as I say, a prison movie which I enjoy. It's got some good supporting characters. We had a character called Hawkins, played by, I'm going to butcher his name, Robert Guillaume. I'm not sure how to say pronounce it, but yeah, he was like one of the inmates that sort of helps out Burke, and also you got a character called Amanda Beckett, who's kind of a lawyer who is also posing as Burke's wife, and he's sort of getting the evidence to when he sort of uncovers things in the prison. She's played by Cynthia Gibbs. She was good as well. And also you got obviously the Sandman himself, who I thought was an awesome villain. Yeah, the best thing about this film though has got to be the action. It just had some awesome fighting in it, great fight scenes. Van Damme just kicks ass in this film. You know, with your high kicks and your chops and I don't know, or your classic Van Damme stuff. And he made up for the last movie I watched with him, which was Legionnaire, which he didn't really do a lot of Van Damme style fighting in that, to be fair. I was a bit disappointed with that, but it was more of a different movie. But yeah, this is proper kick-ass Van Damme on top form, and yeah, he has a showdown with the Sandman character at the end, which is sort of almost like taking on the Terminator or something. It was yeah, real great fight, and yeah, it probably goes on for about 10 minutes or so. It was great, and yeah, overall, yeah, loved it. Great Van Damme movie. But who is going to win this week's battle? Is it going to be Van Damme or is it going to be Seagal? Yep. Unfortunately for Mr. Seagal, he's going 2-0 down in this challenge. Yeah, I preferred Death Warrant. Now, they were both good films. Seagal put up a good effort in this one, and his fighting was really good. But I did think Death Warrant had the edge on it. I did prefer that movie a little bit more. I don't think it was quite as cheesy as Hard to Kill. But yeah, so I think I'd give Hard to Kill 7 out of 10, and I'd give Death Warrant 8 out of 10. And yeah, so another win for Mr. Van Damme. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. Yeah, comment down below which is your favourite out of these movies. Is it Death Warrant? Is it Hard to Kill? Or do you not like either of them? Just let me know. Yeah, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And I see you soon for another conversation between Mr. Van Damme and Mr. Seagal. Who wins next time? We'll find out.